Welcome, friend, to Life and Liberty Radio. I'm David Householder, here to encourage your pursuit of happiness. You and I are partners, exploring our shared spiritual journeys. Together, we're dreaming and working for a free society. Tell others today about our adventure in faith and freedom. So breathe in, open your mind, lift up your spirit. Let's get started. Surprise you a little bit with a counterintuitive talk. It's a short one, but we're going to talk about the tension between parents and children. Now, many of us who are adults are also the children of older adults who are still alive, and many of us have older children, younger children, whatever, but all of us are in those parent-child relationships, either on the giving end or the receiving end, so to speak. And as we look at this parent-child relationship, we often think that the normal state of being is peacefulness and that the abnormal state is tension. But it seems to me that tension is the normal state of affairs for parents. You ever notice how grandparents get along especially well with grandkids and vice versa? Well, there's a sort of mutual alliance between grandkids and grandparents because they have a mutual enemy, and that would be the parents. I think it's normal for parents to have tension with their kids. I don't know why we seem to think that that should be tranquilo and peaceful all the time. It seems to me that tension is a good thing between parents and kids to a certain level. You don't want just horrible stuff all the time. But on the other hand, you don't want peace all the time either, because tension is good for kids growing up. It's good to live in that sort of not quite sure state of mind. The truth is, we grow more through resistance than we do through comfort. And if our relationship with our parents or children is too comfortable, we grow less. And I think that continues into older age. I'm now 52, and my mother is still alive. And I think that I still learn from that relationship. And I think that the younger generation tends to learn a lot from that relationship, as does the older generation. I think parents learn so much when they have a problem child. And all children are problem children to some level. And I think that some of our greatest wisdom comes from raising children that are a little on the difficult side. And some of our best leaders are people who became good leaders because they had difficult children. If you have really easy children, you never have to exercise that leadership muscle and figure out how to get children to do things that are good for them. So this is a real simple message today, but I would just like you to consider the relationships that you are in, the parent-child relationships that you're in. Now, friendships, they should be peaceful, basically, and marriage, I think, should be basically peaceful. It's a partnership, after all, and the more peaceful, the better. But the parent-child relationship is different. If you're a parent, the goal is not to be your kids' friends. You're the parent. And with the parent comes a little bit of tension. And just like lifting weights, resistance is good for people. It's good to have to kind of push back on things. I think that a lot of our children grow up to be too soft because our parents try to create a stress-free environment for them, which I'm not sure is really the best. I think that the strongest people come often out of the most tense situations. I think of my grandfather, my maternal grandfather, who had a terrible relationship with his parents. And there is no question in my mind, no question, that 90% of his character, and his character was superior in every way, one of the greatest human beings I've ever met, 90% of his character was sort of brought forth in the foundry of the heat of that relationship. And he would not have been the man he was had he not grown up in this very difficult situation. So I'm not saying be difficult on purpose, but I am saying that it's really not abnormal. It doesn't need to be fixed. If there's a normal amount of tension between parents and children, that's a good thing. Now, please hear me. I'm not talking about extreme abuse or horrible things or anything like that, or a constant state of terror in that relationship.
No, there should be peace in there and fun also. But a little bit of tension can make for an incredible child. So think about that a little bit. Think about toughness, and I think we've raised a whole generation of kids who are lacking a certain sense of toughness, and I don't think it's all that bad a thing. So perhaps you're a better parent than you thought you were.
Well, that's all for today on Life and Liberty Radio. Thanks so much for sharing this part of your spiritual journey with me. Now, the views on this program are not necessarily those of my advertisers, sponsors, places I work, or do business with. They're purely my own, but I'm sharing them with you, so share your ideas with me. Write me on Twitter at Liberty House, LIBERTYHOUS, no E. Until next time, let's continue dreaming and working for a free and spiritually grounded society.